Welcome to the Trevor Theismann Show. We just had a great discussion, me and my brother Sam, about Dorian Yates and his workout method, and we thought it would be cool to kind of discuss briefly for anyone that's a little bit new to working out or a little bit lost on trying to stay motivated, what they should be looking at. So this video is going to be a discussion where we're going to chit-chat about volume training meets the HIIT style Dorian Yates training and how maybe you could actually utilize these methods in working out less, or if it's more inducive for you to work out more. Let's dive into it. Which method do you like to train with, Sam?
Yeah, I've got two friends that do both poles of this. So I've got one buddy who does a much lower weight and he does a lot more reps. And so I worked out with him for a while and I found myself just getting gassed out by the end of it mentally. I mean, muscles as well. But
So the volume style, is that what you mean, though?
Yeah,
Like,
the volume style, just doing so many reps. And it was lower weight. So it felt safer, but I just found myself getting tired.
how many sets were you doing, you think, on a muscle group?
Ooh. I mean, this was high volume, like 25 to 50. Like, it was...
50.
Yes.
So were you there for 3 hours?
Yes. And
Jesus.
it really was. It was a long time. And so when you brought up the Dorian Yates method, it just from mental time and time in gym, it had me interested right away.
Yeah.
And so maybe you can, because I know you've been doing the Dorian Yates method much longer.
So let's, for the listeners, kind of like, don't let me go too long.
Sure.
Okay? We're going to go Dorian Yates in a nutshell and what his style was.
Okay.
And then we'll do volume, and I'll just kind of paint the picture so a listener can say, maybe I'll Google these things and maybe
Yeah.
I'll dig into them. So
Hit volume first, because I'd like to spend more time in Yates.
okay, so volume training, if you see someone in the gym that's there 4 to 6 days a week and they're there for an hour and a half to 2 hours, and it's very scheduled in the sense that one day's a chest day, this oftentimes is a one muscle group per day split throughout the week. So it's one muscle group, or it might be in pairs, and then there might be an off day kind of in the middle, and it's a 7-day cycle while they're rolling. A little bit more of the Arnold Schwarzenegger type of setup or a Jay Cutler setup. It's much more volume. You're doing 4 to 6 exercises. Said the wrong word. 4 to 6 sets per exercise, and it's a lot more volume, 12 to 15 reps. Really looking for blood flow.
But
That's
there
the
is
Big pump.
also more exercises in this, right?
Oh, yeah, you're
like I'm
probably-
doing more chest
Yeah,
workouts.
Yeah, you could do anywhere between like 6 and 12 exercises. Yeah, 6
Right.
is on the extreme low side, really.
Right.
Dorian Yates method, on the other hand, would be more like a 3 to 4 times a week working out, and you would be trying to work to extreme failure on a given muscle group and then move to the next one. So if the intensity is higher, you'll find that you're going to have possibly better results. But either way, on the plus sides, for people like you and me, less working out days is more or less what you'll get. So
Okay, so just to clarify, we've got failure is the name of the game. Like when I am done with either workout, volume or intensity, I have to have failed to get results.
yeah, pretty much. But the difference is volume is not really like perceived exertion is kind of more what you're looking at.
Okay.
So if you're doing volume, you may only think of it as a percentage. If you're doing volume-based training, you kind of rarely get to like the full 100%. I have tore this muscle group up completely. It's kind of like working in a range of thinking of maximum blood flow. So
Okay.
if you think of it like that, it's kind of, it's not so jointy. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's you're trying to work in a blood flow range where yes, you get muscle fatigue, but you probably not very often are going to take it to maximal 100%, 110% maybe, even
Right.
with force reps failure. It's kind of in a working range of what you can handle.
Okay.
And the other method, Dorian Yates style, you're literally trying to take concentric and eccentric movements to failure, and sometimes even utilizing static holds to really take it to that level.
Okay, so now we're swapping into not volume, we're talking intensity. And that takes we'll start with mentality. It takes a different mentality to get into that, right?
Right.
I mean, you're coming to work basically. I'm spending a very little time and it all needs to count.
Yep.
So what does that look like?
So if you were, again, I would say get on, get your Googles going, everybody, and you can kind of pick which camp you want to go down. But generally, a 3-day workout plan for anyone in their 30s and 40s, I find to be more inducive towards if you got kids and everything else.
Yeah.
So you can do, an upper body, lower body, full body, Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Yep.
The nice thing about doing a type of split like that is if ever you need to push a day closer to another one because something has come up, you can most of the time do that.
Because you've already recovered. I'm not
Right.
back to backing the same muscle group.
Yeah.
I'm giving myself recovery time.
Right.
Okay.
Right. And all this comes from a place of if you come across this video and you're like, these guys are not the most jacked dudes in the world. And that's not really
Agree.
Yeah, I agree. I've never taken steroids in the sense where I'm trying to, get enormously huge. This comes from a place of like, if you are a 30, 40, 50-year-old dude and you want to stay in shape to be able to do the exercises and activities that you want to do, these are the methods that you should be looking at. Do you have 5 days a week to work out? Volume training might be what you're into.
Like I do feel like I need to I feel less qualified to talk about this now that we're doing it. I'll lean into the
No, but it's perfect. I mean, but it really though, it's perfect. Everyone should want to stay active and be able to do the things they're doing. So I think
So Yates is coming in, not to interrupt, but Yates is coming in with intensity because I'm only coming 3 days a week.
Right.
I'm going to work for a very short amount of time, so I need to make sure I'm ready to kill it when I'm in there.
Yeah.
And then
more weight.
Right. And he does a lot of journaling. And it's not just journaling like my intention is to keep track of what I do, which he did, but it's also to say I'm goal setting. This year I want to accomplish this. So this week, this month, I do these things.
Yeah, that's a really good point. And his journaling and what he would do would record every single workout he did and the weight that he was using. But what's interesting is when you're doing a HIIT style training like this and you have one set to absolute failure, it is much easier to record weight and see progress versus, hey, here's 6 to 8 sets we're doing on this muscle group. Now I'm fatigued. I go to the next exercise.
I was a little tired. I didn't get as many that time.
I'll give you an example. When I started doing this for the first time, I work out with a workout partner, and pretty much I can get absolute failure. And I do get absolute failure on exercises. But when I would flip-flop, say this chest exercise, so I would do flat bench with dumbbells, and then I may do an incline barbell. Well, on week to week, if I would flip which one I did first, you might as well subtract 15 pounds off the other one from what I did last time.
Really?
So it's like instant seeing how much weight you can get. If you record it, you can most definitely see progress much easier. The volume-based training, I find that most people, not bodybuilders, most people do volume and don't do anything.
They're just there. They're just moving.
You see progress for a year, and then when progress slows because your body's used to the adaptations, volume is a slippery slope of crappy workouts. It's just you get in the gym and it's an hour and a half. You go through the motions. You get your 4 to 6 sets in, and then you go home and you feel like you worked out, but you don't really see anything ever different in the mirror. That's a slippery slope that a lot of people get into. And I've been there too. And
it takes a different intensity. Like you're no longer intense for that moment. You have to sustain an intensity.
7 minutes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. So back into Yates. We are going in with goals. We've got an expectation of ourselves. We've got an intensity to the workout that we're bringing to the workout. Now the actual workout looks like what? We'll call it a chest day. I'm going to do a chest day. What does an actual chest day look like? We'll include a bench and maybe one other workout. What are my reps? Ideally,
I'll give you them both back to back. It'll be quick. So volume-based training. What you would be doing is you may do a bench, incline, possibly a decline or a fly. Then I may move into a tricep, and then I might do
I'm doing push-ups.
Cross cable.
I'm gonna do push-ups,
and then probably a push-up towards the end of it. Just a max out set or something. But as you get stronger, push-ups,
they end up being nothing.
Them. Yeah.
But I want to get them at the end where I'm burning myself out eventually.
Yeah. So, but either way, I'm looking at 7 or 8 exercises, generally in volume. I'm going to do 4 to 6 sets, and it's probably going to be wherever I'm at through the weeks. I may be on a higher rep range, 12 to 15s, but I might be 8 to 12s towards the bottom side. But generally, it's going to be more repetitions.
Yep.
Dorian Yates model is going to be 3 to 4 days a week. You're going to separate things a little bit. Probably not going to do full bodies every day because you wouldn't be able to do legs like that.
Right.
You would.
Yeah, I can't walk after a hard leg day anyway.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to do that. So you'd split them up slightly, but those 3 days you're going to try to max out one muscle group Not just that muscle group, but when you hit the muscle, you're going to max it out completely. So if you're going to do on a
we're talking
Yates
chest
style
day. Chest day.
Well, I would probably do a chest and a tri or a chest and a bi and shoulder or something. So you would do, say you do your bench press. Then I may want to go over and we'll do a tricep set. And then I may do some kind of a fly. And then I'll finish with one other tricep exercise and then finish with abs.
And I'm done.
And then I'm done.
So I've done 5 total exercises.
Yeah.
And now we'll pick just the bench to talk about real quick. What does my bench sets look like?
So rather than the higher volume, you can still do the volume if you're newer to it. So you would still be in your 15, 20 rep-ish range, maybe the first week you've ever tried this. But generally speaking, you want to be around like the 6 to 12 mark. Because the kicker is absolute failure. So if you're going to get to absolute failure, if you take that any farther than like 50 seconds active movement, your brain just can't take it. So you almost want to use heavier weight. As you get doing this, you'll find like by month 2 or 3, let's put some weight on.
Yeah, I don't want to be here. I don't want to be in the
torture chamber for a minute and a half. Like I want to be done in 40 seconds.
Right.
You know, I tell my workout partner, all, quit helping me so much so early.
Yeah.
If I do one more rep, I'll be done.
Yeah.
You know,
just let me hurt shorter.
Yeah, quit helping me early. You know, you help me early. I got 5 more reps to do.
All right. So you're now working out. Your first set is what?
It would be some kind of a press because I'm predominantly always trying to work on my chest because it's
no. I'm sorry, I asked it wrong. Your first set within your bench press. What am I trying to accomplish in my first set? I'm only doing 3, right?
Yeah, super simple. It's really easy weight, kind of like a 50-60% of what you can handle. A lot of range of motion. Shouldn't feel any pressure in your joints at all. If you're feeling jointy, you should have used less weight.
Okay.
Your second set should be generally kind of, if you're new to going to this method, most people always start with the volume because it's easier.
Yeah.
If you're new to this, it will feel probably in the first 2 or 3 weeks like this is too much weight. And that's just
number 2.
Yeah,
we're only at our second set.
But you're trying to get around 70-75% of what you can handle. But like if you're used to volume, that set, it just feels like, man,
I'm heavy.
I'm already up here.
Okay.
But what you'll find is you're plenty loose enough from the first set and you can do it. It's just a different, you almost don't want to fatigue yourself. You're trying to get in a range where you're like 2 or 3 reps before you couldn't concentrically get it up.
No, that's a good distinction because I think most of the time when I think of failure, I think of fatigue failure. And this is not the same thing. This is I can't push. Drop the weight, I could do many more pushes, but at this weight, I can't push.
Yeah, that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to get
70% of that.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So what are we at? Third?
70% and you're thinking of rep ranges, right?
Right.
So imagine if you were doing a set of 10 and you could do 150 pounds, right? And maybe you had 2 or 3 reps. If you had a spotter, you'd be willing to do it.
Sure.
So if I was going to fail at 10, then I got to know that I need to put on 5 or 10 more pounds because I need to stop at 10. That's my goal. That's kind of how you set that up. So,
okay.
And so in that world, if you were doing 150 pounds, you may want to be doing 120.
Okay.
For this medium set.
Yep, for your second set.
So generally I would stick on, if I was doing it, I'm going to add maybe 20 to 30 pounds for my last set. And now when I pick that up, when you get good at this.
So this is third set, your last set. This is your burnout set. I'm done here.
It feels heavy in your hands instantly. Like you pick it up and you're like, this sucks.
I am not going to.
Yeah, this sucks.
I won't survive this.
Yeah, it's just, if you embrace it and you know that you've got to focus for one set, this is magical. If you're kind of a weenie and just want to go through the motions, this is not for you.
No, I agree.
If you want to dive into the trenches, you can literally work out 3 days a week and get amazing results.
Okay.
If you don't want to try hard, then volume has to be what you're doing.
I would probably stick away from like try hard or not try hard. If you don't want to put yourself mentally in a place that you're just like, I'm going to hate this hard for like 30
eyes
seconds.
Of the beholder, though, it's all perspective. You
know,
if I know that I can... The funny thing is about volume meets the other. I feel like everybody does volume because it's easier or everybody eventually gets there.
It's perceived as safer, too, because I'm not lifting this big thing over my face.
Right. But the interesting thing is when you do volume and you get to that last set, you're like, oh, I'm tired. And I stop. Do you know the difference in that set and the other method is literally like 4 reps. You could have just done 4 more reps and been done.
Right.
And instead, you got just to the brink and you put them down.
Right.
Just to the brink and you put them down. And then 3 months comes by, 4 months comes by, and you're still picking up the same weight.
Why haven't I gotten the results I want?
Because I'm just done again. I'm done again. And you're not seeing massive, I can't do 5 more pounds for 7 sets.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I think that's kind of I feel like that should be the massive motivation if you're coming from volume that makes this better.
Okay.
What do you mean I can just like push it for 5 more reps and then 1 with a spotter and I'm going to get the same results as I could have just grinded for 3 more sets?
Right.
Yeah.
So all right. So it sounds like if I'm switching over to Dorian Yates, I'm coming in with an intensity.
It's not just Dorian Yates. I mean, he kind of picked and choose from a couple people.
He's a good face to because I mean, he's really tried to evangelize this mindset. And I think that's it's a good alternative to the other way that I definitely grew up working out. So this method, the intensity based, the shorter term, I'm coming in with intensity. I'm coming in with a job to do. I sit down and I do the work. It's better if I have a spotter, someone that can help me get past my I'm done. And you got 2 or 3 more in the tank because these are the ones you need. These are the ones that count.
Right.
And then I'm doing 3 sets with ideally, when I get to the point, somewhere between 6 to 12 reps. And I'm only doing about 2 exercises per muscle group that I'm trying to work that day, and I'm out.
That's it.
I mean, so volume versus this, if I'm a person that doesn't have a lot of time, this is a great option. If I'm a person that has a friend that's trying to go out and work out, but I can only do it maybe 2 or 3 days a week, this is a great option.
Well, to me, it also opens up the door to workout partners.
Yes.
Because, hey, what if your workout that you can't get with a workout partner, you have a workout for that. But if I can get a workout partner consistently 2 days a week, you can get amazing results because you got a workout partner and now you're extra motivated as well.
And realistically, you were only going to hit that muscle group 1.5 times that week anyway. So do it with the one partner you get a week and you're good to go.
Yeah. I think generally that's what I've started to do and what I hope to do for listeners is kind of take, this is the elite of elite results. And this also can translate to people that just want to stay in good shape and aren't going to take steroids and try to get huge. I mean, it doesn't have to be that, but those principles, you can really get a lot of great results. But I think the one big misconception is the lack of intensity that you can have as long as you use volume. That is false.
It's just not true.
Yeah, you still, people that work out with volume are still crushing it to get big.
Yes, the guy that I know that does that, the long sets, he is mentally probably one of the toughest guys I know because he is grinding it out to where it sucks.
Yes, I think that's the missing link is like intensity doesn't mean it's not in either one of them to get results.
To get results,
but
has to be there.
Most people will not apply intensity in any fashion. And the thing that I have found that works best for me is I can apply intensity 3 days a week currently with my lifestyle rather easily compared to that volume style intensity that's required. So if you're new to the channel, we're going to be breaking down a lot of different concepts. And out of this video, I think if you take a look at HIIT style weight training from Dorian Yates, do some Googles. There's all kinds of podcasts that you can check out if you really want to get down that road. You can see his exact workouts. He recorded everything in a journal. So there's so much information to absorb. Or you've got guys like Jay Cutler or a lot of volume-based training techniques that you can use too. Just remember the distinct differences. You've got multiple days that you're working out on 1, 5, 6 days a week. Not as much off days. The other one, it's a lot about recovery due to the extra intensity that you're doing per muscles with eccentric movements, force reps, and things like that. If you like what we're doing, subscribe to the channel. Give us a like. We'd really appreciate it. Have a great day.